This is Sportscentre.
Hey, I'm Marissa Bird on this edition of Sportscentre presented by Montana's Barbecue and Bar. We were just a few sleeps away from puck drop at the World Junior Championship. Canada played their third and final pre-competition game tonight against Czechia. Gavin McKenna, who became just the 8th 16-year-old to make the team, comes in leading the WHL in points with 60 in just 30 games. And it's safe to say a lot of eyes will be on him. Now pleased to be joined by none other than Mark Masters. Hey, Mark.
Hi, Marissa.
Mark, McKenna started the first pre-comp game as the 13th forward, but against Sweden, he was a regular out there. Are signs pointing toward a breakout for McKenna?
Well, his line mate, Berkeley Ketton, said that McKenna was the best player on the ice Saturday night against the Swedes, so it feels like only a matter of time before he starts filling up the score sheet. I was talking to Porter Martone about McKenna yesterday, and he was with him at the Under-18 World Championship, and he said back then McKenna did not produce during the pre-tournament and then just took off once the real game started. He had 20 points in 7 games there en route to a gold medal. That was a new Canadian scoring record. Feels like a familiar script is playing out here. McKenna admitted to dealing with some nerves in that first pre-tournament game, but now that he's in a regular role on a regular line, Marissa, you can just feel that confidence growing.
We love to hear that. Thank you so much for joining us.
3 more sleeps, Marissa.
It's better than Christmas. Canada plays their third and final game tonight against Czechia, and just 3 days from now on Boxing Day. It's the most wonderful time of the year. Canada takes on Finland in their tournament opener. And you can catch all the action right here on TSN. Rounding out Week 16 in the NFL is a very important game in the NFC. The Packers have a chance to book their ticket to the playoffs with a win over the Saints. Green Bay are 9-1 against teams outside of their division this season and have been on a roll since Week 11. The Packers are 4-5 and getting hot at the right time. And that includes Jordan Love, who since Week 11 comes in with a passer rating of above 105 straight games. And after Week 11, throughout his entire career, Love has been significantly better across the board. Including the playoffs, Love owns an 11-4 record and an insane 31-4 touchdown to interception ratio. But it's not just Love that's been stepping up. Since Week 8, Josh Jacobs leads the NFL in rushing touchdowns. 11 of his 12 on the season have come after that Week 8 win over the Jaguars. And for the first time since 2021, the Packers have reached 10 wins. And it's the 33rd time in franchise history, which is the most in the NFL. But they'll look to make it 11 and punch their ticket into the playoffs. It's the Packers and the Saints that you can watch tonight on TSN at 8:15 Eastern, 5:15 Pacific. Let's run through some other important games from around the league on Sunday. The Bengals kept their slim playoff chances alive with a huge win over the Browns. They've won 3 straight and need to win their final 2 and get some help to win a playoff spot. And I think I've mentioned this every single week, but Joe Burrow is putting up MVP-like numbers, and he made a little bit of history on Sunday for the 7th straight game. The Bengals QB threw for 250 or more passing yards and 3 or more touchdowns. Imagine finishing near the top of the AFC and having to play the Bengals as a wildcard team. Well, one of those teams they very well could meet if they make it are the Buffalo Bills, who are still gunning for the #1 seed in the AFC, something they have not achieved since 1993. The Bills did pick up their 12th win of the season over New England, but they trailed the Chiefs by 2 games with 2 games left. Allen and the Bills have been tough to beat in December and January. He's won 17 of his last 18 regular season games in those months. It's all coming down to the final 2 weeks of the regular season, and you can catch all the action right here on TSN and CTV. In the NHL, we've got a homecoming game for Patrik Laine, as the Montreal Canadiens are in Columbus taking on the Blue Jackets. Laine spent parts of 4 seasons in Columbus before being traded to Montreal last offseason, and that trade is already looking like a steal for the Habs. The Canadiens acquired Laine as well as a future second-round pick from Columbus in exchange for defenseman Jordan Harris. Harris has not done a ton this season as he only has 1 assist in 22 games. But Laine, on the other hand, well, he's been on fire. Due to injury, he's played in just 9 games, but in those games he's already scored 8 goals, which has him on pace for over 50 goals this year. The entire team also seems to play better when he's in the lineup. While Laine was out with injury, Montreal lost twice as many games as they won. Oh, and they were dead last in the Eastern Conference standings. But ever since he's returned, the Habs have flipped the script. They've won 6 out of their last 9. While this success has not put them back in the playoff picture, it shows how important Patrik Laine can be to this team. Montreal will try to stay hot tonight against Columbus, and viewers in the Habs region can catch the action at 7 Eastern. It's time now for my favorite segment on yours, We Love Sports Today.
Why we love sports today.
Now, there is pressure, but for these kids, that pressure involves free time being on the line. And when you were younger in school, there was nothing better than just getting to hang out with your friends after a hard day's work.
Think about it.
The kids just sitting there not really caring. You know they'd rather be doing the multiplication tables, and that's okay too. Well, that's it for me today. Happy to be back. We will see you right back here tomorrow. Christmas Eve, baby. See you then.